Hi, welcome back channel, TrainStation2. Alright, so we managed to get third only in this first competition. Very unfortunate. You can see a very small difference in terms of EP. It's only 5 EP difference, and we managed to get only third. But of course, it's a lot of effort. I mean, you can see from the score itself, the fourth place is only 400 over EP, whereas the top three, including myself, is 800 over EP. So, I mean, sometimes it comes to luck when you are in really competitive mode together with very strong competitors. You know, you spend all your gems, all your hard-earned commodities, and yet you only score third. So it's a bit disappointing, but nonetheless, that's how the games goes. Nonetheless, I think it's important to bear in mind it's a free game after all. Do not spend real money. All right, so you can see a really close fight. But again, there'll be definitely times whereby people just want to spend some gems to just cut ahead. So that side, I got to mention in the previous video that importance to do warehouse spacing increase. I focus more on that this time around. I think generally we do need a huge warehouse if possible, so that we can store all the raw materials or even the finished products. So I think the only issue here is about two things. I think one is a limited amount of coins, and two, there just aren't enough population to go around, because the fact that now you got to lay out all your buildings to assess the population that you have, but at the same time you wanted to increase the population fast by just limiting to 5 buildings being laid out. So that's how the dilemma is about. So the 5 building technique I'm going to mention here is basically laying out 5 buildings of yours onto the map, so that you get very fast requests. Generally you get 4 requests, you got to fulfill them, and then from there you basically just accelerate the population increase. All right, so now this juncture here, you're seeing me getting third. I'm not going to rest. I'm going to focus a bit here before we carry on with the 5 building technique. Just make sure you do all the jobs as required before the start of the next competition, which is about 24 hours. That would becomes your EP head start. Basically, completely do not collect it until the start of the next competition. And you got to couple with the fact that you're going to be starting late, 12 hours late about. Do not lock in the game, not even though you are thinking that you do not touch the competition, you're fine. No, it doesn't work that way. Do not lock in the game totally for 12 hours, just about to end in terms of that time. And that's what I meant, which means not now you stop playing, but rather just maybe an hour or half an hour before the start of competition, then you stop playing totally for 12 hours. All right, so meanwhile what you can do is really to collect all the raw materials and beef up that event finished products, or even collect tons and tons of those hard-earned 15 minutes raw materials, have lots of them in the inventory. All right, so now that's why you need strong warehouse, or we call it large warehouse. Back to the 5 building technique, going to explain a bit more here. So it basically, you lay out that 5 building, you get 4 jobs, right? So when you fulfill them, or you cancel them, the next job will appear in the 5th building. So that's why we're laying out 5 buildings in total, instead of hunting for the jobs all over the maps. Because if you lay out every single building, I just find it much more convenient in this context, and of course it seems to be faster than you lay out all the buildings. When we talk about 5 building technique, we are not laying out any 5, but rather the lowest level 5. All right, so the lowest level buildings will be laid out so that you can get upgrade easily. If you lay out very high level buildings, it will take a very difficult moment to get it upgraded. So that's what I meant by having the easiest time, where you lay out 5 building of the lowest level in the maps, get it upgraded to the certain level, swap it out. All right, so you just put back in the inventory box and take out another fresh building of the lower level, right? So you keep on doing that, the population will increase at a tremendous speed, and once you have more or less secure a good amount of population, You got to lay out every single building that you have on the map. So it's cumbersome right now. In the past, there's no need for such a requirement. So once you lay it out, then the system will calculate the total populations you have. From there, then maybe you fulfill the requirement to upgrade the warehouse. All right, so warehouse is a pain. All right, so just make sure you do a lot of housekeeping, like what I'm doing right now. Delete away those small quantities of unused items. That will give you a bit of savings, and of course you've got to constantly manage well in terms of what to manufacture, what to collect. Do not just chalk up your warehouse for nothing, right? So this is basically about inventory management, right? So starting off the next competition is something in preparation work, but I think there's a lot to be done. The fact that there is another train they can collect, but you get 1,000 of those items to be delivered before you can collect that train. Alternative to that is to don't collect that train and then swap out the items for more event keys so that you can get the legendary train fast. So that's the other option if you think that would be the way. I just see how things go so far because there's some spare dispatches around. I just couldn't keep on delivering them. But meanwhile, what I'm trying to do here is really to grab as much as many event coin or keys as possible so we can get the first legendary train out. So looking ahead, I don't think it'll be easy in this event. Currently, answer points are high. Most of the time, items that you do not have, mostly events items. It's hard to make, and definitely it'll be a challenging event, not as easy as usual. So just bear in mind, free game, play it your own way. There's no pressure. It will be gem spender for sure. It's frustrating. Just save up the gems for the next battle and move on. All right, so it's not a complicated progression map, but nonetheless it is a very tough amount of quantities with delivered. Thank you so much for watching. Do like and subscribe. Goodbye.